What's up, y'all? It's ready to go.
I'm the sizzle of this promposal. And while Romeo over here is trying to look cool, things are about to heat up.
Darn it, Kyle.
Hang tight.
Have the right home insurance coverage? You
Had a
can't
Celsius
yourself, so get Allstate.
Celsius spill here. How y'all doing today? Oof. That's never fun. Man down, man down. Oh, long day, irrational day already. Opening outside DD bands. Let's check. Ow, let's check this out. Man, I need. These already starting off bad. All right, take a look. There's some red lines for y'all. We have to take a gander here. Ugh. I just smashed my finger. It's one of those days where I should just go back to bed. Oh my goodness. Fix risk interval? Yeah, let's check this real quick. I'm just now getting things checked here. Had a busy day. All right, let's look. You guys are all, y'all are so smart. This is what I love about y'all. Even if I forget something, y'all teach me. Nope, not yet. Close. Close on the horizon. Yeah, we gotta make sure everybody knows that. Let's go here, double quick. We'd have that triple B rejection, building volatility today. Today's Friday. We have expiration, mechanics. Clearly, this is going to be something worth noting. Keep an eye on that one. Make sure that's the right. No, wait, hold on. Mine's still set at 3? That's not right. Maybe it is right. Hold on. Don't listen to me yet. All right. I'm still trying to clean up spilled Celsius on my desktop here. It's 2.6. Why is mine still set at 3? That doesn't make any sense. Hold on. let's just do this. Maybe it's because I set it on the wrong drawing. It's gonna be 2.6. Yeah. I think I did it on a different drawing set. That's why. And for some reason, I didn't do it on all of them. It's gonna be 2.6. So I'm gonna be 25, 26.13. It's 2.6. Yep, that's it. So out the door, when you tap that and come back in, it's just a no trade day, period. But like I said, discretionary traders. This is the one where we say, you know, discretion is not to be used. This is one where it's like better safe than sorry. You're already starting off kind of in the booty zone, so not the good kind of booty, like the sucks kind of booty. So outside of the DD bands, there's not really much to really put a lot of faith into. Anyways, and with that VIX possibility, this could be a collapse day, so you gotta be very careful. You don't want to start your weekend off with a blowing up an account. Those days, get up to you. I don't care what y'all do. Y'all do whatever y'all want. Y'all's money. There's some red lines again. The S&P does qualify for IRL, and there's no purpose for this that I can see in the news in the morning. It's just European markets selling off. There's currently a run length, so any pop up to that run length is probably any limited upside around in there. Is probably all you're gonna see. I wouldn't at all be thinking this market's gonna go anywhere today. We'll have to see, right? What's up? Good morning. Bullard talks it up. Oh God, there you go. Market's doomed. Bullard's talking. They're good. Roll that magic bear wand in the air and goodbye stock market. The booty zone. That's yeah, VIX is crossed. Thanks for reminding me, guys. You guys are correct. They're irrational, completely irrational out the door. Irrational with an I. It was great. It's good. The day off was good. But I knocked over my Celsius, and the worst part about my day is all the carbonation left my drink. Now it tastes flat. God, I hate my life. My life was so hard. But I am taking my blood pressure medicine, which is actually helping. And I'm working out, and I'm eating healthy. And my blood pressure came down. So I think what it was is just chronic nonstop work, chronic nonstop Chick-fil-A and junk food, and chronic I spent some time traveling for the holidays and I go to the gym every day like I do. Now I'm back to the gym every day. Now I'm eating better. We've been making like salads and cooking and we're refusing to stop by, grabbing like quick fast food. It's all Rocket Scooter's time commitment it needs of me. Y'all may forget. I may be this handsome, good-looking trader on YouTube. I know, thank you. I also run this company called Rocket Scooter. That's a huge time commitment than you guys really experience. Y'all get to play with the product and have fun. Oh, if only I could switch position with one of you guys. I could just wake up and use Rocket Scooter and just be a client. About 10 hours plus, 15 hours plus of my day is Rocket Scooter stuff. Tons and tons and tons of stuff. And I love it. I'm not complaining at all. I'm saying it's the reason I eat a lot of Chick-fil-A and junk food. That's for sure. Rocket is rocking. Oh yeah, baby. Life is so depressing. Lee, get the fuck out of here. I hate spilling energy drinks. First world problems. Is there a way to get the toggle on and off extended hours in Rocket Scooter? I don't believe so. And that's again, if it comes native with the TradingView charting library, because we're using just their charting stuff. You guys might know better than me because I haven't fully explored all the options. If the option that they have isn't here, then they haven't put it in. Toggle on extended hours. Like if you don't want to see these, you want to see the actual data. I don't have them drawing data until 4 o'clock in the morning, So that's all that we have when the pre-market opens, post-market. So, oh, you want to turn, oh, my bad. You want to turn pre-market off is what you're saying. Don't have that. Don't have that yet. Add some CO2 to your drink. I got to put like, remember those soda streams? Remember those are popular for a hot minute? We all were like, ooh, we can make our own sodas at home for cheaper. And then you bought one, you used it once, you tasted the Coca-Cola and you spit it out because it was sour. You're like, bleh. And then you want to reuse those again. Carbonate your own sodas. I remember those days. Thick filet. Brian, get out of here too. Get your corny jokes, all you guys. Go. I don't have time for this. Your cats regularly knock over your ghost energy drinks. You feel your pain. I know, and my cats always are like knocking shit over too. It's crazy. Okay, it's irrational day. I'm in no hurry to do something. Gonna let things kind of stabilize and start up. We added this in the status section just to kind of show that data is coming in. For those of you that may or may not have connection issues, and this is something that's been here for you just as a quick test. There's a reconnect button in case your socket ever becomes disconnected. So when they're all green, it should be working. Your connection should be good. So it's like a connection test, just an extra little feature. And we're testing my display stuff. Rock screw is a hell of a drug. Makes your blood pressure go up. I know. You still have yours and use it every day. It's good run. Aesthetic preference. Soda streams. Yeah, you love Ghost. I actually never had a Ghost energy drink. I should try it. Ever since I got on the Celsius bandwagon. So let me just let them know. Oh, so yesterday's. This might help troubleshooting. Y'all saw it. So it popped up yesterday's when the data came in with the green lights. Okay. Watch this when I hit refresh. Click the refresh circle. I proved it. Haha. So it's still probably, it's an interesting that. Look, we're trying to figure out what we did in the last patch is making this do this. And I'll have to check the console and look. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bear short up. Liquidity maps, go ahead really quick and look. Bear short up is hedge to hedge. Looking in there, hedge to hedge. This is a very possible nasty fall today. So be careful today with whatever it is. Y'all are touching and trading. Res is all over the place. So Jod, you saw that, right? The yesterday's popped up. So it's not the socket connection. It looks like, and one of the members told me that when you open up the console, it looks like it's still drawing old. It's not like the chart is not communicating to refresh this ticker. Like this is like telling it the ticker. So it's like drawing, it's drawing the last thing I had up. So if I go to QQQ, like for instance, there, now it popped up. So I don't know what's going on with that, but looks like that would be whatever. That's an interesting thing to note. I'm just gonna click some random tickers here. So irrational day outside ED bands, nothing really to say. So we'll see if that. But interestingly enough, Jod, if you are watching, you saw that it popped up. Whenever it got the burst, it showed yesterday's walls in my current state. So maybe whatever I just did dislodged it. Seems to be working now. So we'll take a look at it. Good day to run some Halo. Yeah, y'all want to play? Y'all want to do some game? Y'all want to play some games today? I've got a very important potential partnership meeting today with a really interesting connection. Like I said, this will be our biggest one yet, actually. If this turns into a thing. I'm actually very excited to meet this person. We'll just say I'm a little starstruck. And Is it the president? Of course. How did you know, Gabe? You watch a YouTube video on the distance between bull zones and bear zones, determine intraday volatility, good for scalping, amazing stuff. Pyro. Oh yeah, so that's an interesting feature, and that video is really, really, really cool. Telling you the expected range of the day. You can also use it during earnings, so tell you the distance between the zones. On that expiring Friday is how much the stock's gonna move. And that real expected range, the real range, it's the real expected range, real volatility in an earnings report. So if the distance between this is something I want everybody to note, the distance between like a bull zone and a bear zone, this direction, pick your random stock, this T-Mobile expires, say, pretend T-Mobile has earnings. This distance, if there's earnings, that is the distance up and that is the distance down. It should travel without going beyond expectations. This is a more accurate expected range. That video is very cool. I know. Once we discovered, I mean, not discovered that, but we inferred that from the way the zones work. Clearly, it's part of how zones work. You know, the expected range is determined by where people are expected to bet on this thing, right? And that's the volatility that you expect to come with it. Okay, so resiliences are negative, right? Out the door. I think today is the day for Social Club Day. Somebody said I want to be starstruck if I saw him. Already. What's the difference between res 1 and 2? So let me see. I'm Jod. Looks like it's just SPY that is doing it now. It's just SPY that's doing it, it seems. Taking forever to load. Or when I go to SPY. So is it just SPY that's doing it? Now, there's something wrong with my particular setup with Edge. We're doing some changes on Edge because Edge has a really weird thing that Windows does for multi-chart. So when I start loading up multiple windows and loading the layout, we're trying to get something fixed with Edge, so that the multiple windows can load up a certain way. So we're doing a lot of Edge specific changes. So I'm running it in Edge and just letting him watch while I troubleshoot it. I have them too. If I just hit F5, they'll pop up. So what's happening, something weird is going on with Edge. It's just an Edge specific thing. We're trying to figure out what it is. So the difference between the two, okay, look, resilience is less than 0. And we have, clear irrational out the door. We have irrational VIX. That's touch. You guys see how you can wake up and just be like, nope, today. Isn't it crazy that that's how this works? I wake up today. It doesn't look much different, right? The average person may be like, you know what? It's not that bad. VIX has been 25 before. And, markets are okay. It's not too terrible. I wake up today and this is one of the most dangerous mornings I've ever seen in my life. Literally one of the most dangerous mornings I've ever seen. I'm literally 7 minutes in the market and I say I'm about 75% probable that the market today is going to collapse in the close, or it's going to be crazy. Can y'all see it? Did y'all learn enough at Rocket Scooter? You understand that? A couple minutes in, oh look, we're testing yesterday's lows. Oh, look at that. It's yesterday's lows. Let me go ahead and buy at the support. I think that's like my technical flag tells me that that's where support is, and I should buy there. And let's see. And I look at this today and I go, I think I'm gonna play some Halo. Thank God I knocked out both of these evals. First go at them. I did this and I'm done. I told them to cancel it. I don't even want to use them. And that's the funny part. I don't even need these accounts. So I said, go ahead and cancel them. And I actually want to start over and do the 150 again. The elite, I want to start over and try the eval one more time because I want to try a different strategy for a safer out the door. So the first strategy I have on how to beat these trader funding programs. This is literally what I did. So everybody click that like button. I'm about to drop some knowledge bombs. This is scariest. This is the scariest open I've ever seen. In the last month or two. Not ever, but this is scary as hell. Scary. So what I did, and everybody give that so go down. There's that thumbs up button on the YouTube stream. Can everybody do that real quick? Just go down, click that thumbs up. Give us some love. I'll show you something cool. So the trick is on how you beat this 150 eval, right? The static eval just has one drawdown level. That's it. You can lose 1,200 whatever bucks. The trick is your first trade has to be your best trade. That's the trick. I have a trick for each one of these. I'm going to teach you guys how to go past this out the door. It's paper trading, so there's like no illegality on me teaching you how to beat a paper trading game. I'm going to teach you all how to do it. We're going to do a whole workshop series on how to go out there and crush this funded account game that's out there. They promise you funded accounts. Let's go see if they actually pay out. I want all you guys to go out there and beat them. And like I said, I'm just going to teach you how to do it. The trick is no trick. You have to be good at trading. So the trick is you can't just go out there and trade every day. You have to know what you're in for. If there's a static drawdown, then you need to get some buffer against it. So your first trade has to be your best trade. It means you have to be sure. So with that one, it's like I have to wait till all the signals line up and then I hit it. No shorting. That's one of the rules too for that. Only long. Shorts have volatility. Longs don't typically have volatility. You don't want any drawdown to kick you out right out the door. So your first trade has to be, at least significantly more than gain than what that drawdown will be. The debate is wait, strike. Put some fat on the account, then just trade it small till the end. I want to create a strategy though that's going to not need that patience, because a lot of people don't have that patience. They're going to say, I just buy. Who wants to buy a thing and then, pay for a thing and then sit there for like 2 weeks before they use it, right? You're like, well, you get that itch. Well, there's got to be a strategy to work out the door. So out the door, it's got to be, if your drawdown's 1250, this is my new strategy for people that just are antsy and can't wait. The scariest open ever? Let me think. What is the scariest market open I've experienced? Flash crash for sure. I think the flash crash to me was one of the scariest times in market history because nobody was expecting it. When it happened, it just was so violent, and the violence pounded the market for it was like 4 or 5 days. That was scary because people were like, what if the market falls to zero? What if the algorithms dry up the liquidity and the market falls to zero because of a technicality? And it was crazy. That's probably the scariest I've ever seen in the stock market. You guys remember? So, anyways, my new strategy, because I want to do it again just for 150. And the idea is if your drawdown's 1250, 150K, if your drawdown's 1250, then you can trade small out the door, even if all the signals don't line up. And it's like 2 of them are bull, 1 of them's bear. Okay, so I still want to trade. Then you have to lower your position size. So instead of just waiting and striking hard, it's small position size until you get to a certain level, and then you wouldn't have to strike hard. So you need to build that buffer slowly, which is harder to do, but there are going to be people that don't have that patience to wait like I did. Lucky for me, when I first started this, the first day was a banger. I jumped in and just jumped in heavy and then got like 2 or 3 grand on it. So Jay Hicks, was the scariest opening ever? No, I said today was the scariest opening I've ever seen, and I stopped myself. I might say that I've seen in about the last 2 months. Market's likely going to sell off extremely hard today. Not all signs are bad. Nothing is good. Resilience is negative. Let's draw it out. But you guys see it, right? It's like you wake up and you just look at this and then you go, oh, gosh darn it. Look at this. It's yesterday's low. It's a double bottom. You know what? Let me go ahead and just, all the moving averages nice and steady. Let's look. Resilience is negative. Resisting type 2 resilience down here. Already hedge pressure break. That's extremely horrible. VIX breaking 1 risk interval overnight. That's pretty horrible. Outside of doomsday bands. That's pretty horrible. There's nothing good about this market. Nothing good about this market. And there's not even a bounce point until 382.5. If it holds hedge pressure and resilience even goes positive, I'm only trading back up to yesterday's close plus a little bit anyway, so liquidity pocket. There is no upside here that I can predict. The only thing that's going to encourage me to go long is a scalp from here to there, even if resilience was negative, to bounce. And again, it's only 1 point of move in the middle of 4 irrational signals. No thank you. And that's exactly how it works. Maddie B, baby, you want to play some Halo in about 30 minutes? Let's do this. I'm going to show you guys something really cool. Rocket Scooter is... Now, hold on. Let me find where my DD bands went to. Oh, I cleared my cookie. I got to redo all this stuff. Or deleted my cookies. I haven't even checked EVXY yet, but let's look. And that's it, right? I wake up, I see something I don't like, and I'm done. I think DD band, I'm just going to estimate real quick. It's about right here. Can you see how I can sit here and say the market is, and I hate to use the crash word, but you can see it right out the door. It's very possible, and it's very stupid for me to do anything from here. And do you guys, let's add about, what, 6 points to that, give or take. Right up here. Is everybody here? Let's throw some rockets in chat. Let's throw some numbers in chat or some comments. Do y'all see this, right? Do you see how I might seem super calm today, but I'm extremely scared. The only thing that's giving me hope is this DD number. That's it. That's it. Which means hedge push or break could end up in the bull zone. Slightly 0.61 though. That's right on the edge. That doesn't mean I'm scared of all the market, but this could be the saving grace today. The DD bands are done with a technique that we do teach. It's done manually right now, and pretty soon it'll be done automated in Rocket Scooters. If you want to learn how to do the DD bands, I want you to go to the extended trial. Everybody go here. Look. $35 a month is the extended trial rate. It's $199 for the full unlock when Rocket Scooter has everything from futures, Forex, crypto, you name it, stocks, options data. All those data feeds will total out to about $200 a month. Plus the full access to Discord, plus full access to my training program, plus the full access to Ashton's training program, plus full access to everything we do here. It's $200. You want to just get everything right now that we have for $35? Lock it in. 3 months, learn everything. We'll teach you how to do those DD bands, Austin. That's why it's basically gambling. Yeah. UVXY, MHP break, liquidity pocket. Oh, man, listen to you guys. Y'all are just so fucking smart. I love y'all. This is what I love about this crew. Y'all are making me think, y'all are teaching me things that I need to look at. Let me check my socket statuses here. Yeah, see, it's not disconnecting. Something's up with Edge, and we're investigating that. So my drawings don't load until a little bit. Now they're coming in. We see. So right now we're trying to solve Edge problems. So yeah, UVXY is not a hedge break, is it? No, it did open at hedge. So technically not a hedge break if it opens at hedge. It is worth it. Thank you, Ryan. You're worth it. So Rocket Scooter has social clubs. Let me walk you guys through what that is. What is a social club, you may ask? Well, I'm going to tell you something, you degenerate gamblers. Listen up. I'm talking to you. You know, if your ears just perked up, you know I'm talking to you. Your subconscious just said, hey, this guy's talking shit about you. You need to pay attention. Okay, I'm 100% talking shit about you. So here's what you're going to do. Social clubs are fun. It's called, again, we're super cool here. It's called Starbase Social. Attention, cadets. Salute. Cadet Lounge is a cool place. This is where we all hang out when we're not trading or we're choosing to hang out. When I choose to not trade, I like to set a good example and not trade. I like to get a handful of folks and we like to play games. Obviously, in my heyday, I was a competitive gamer for a little bit. I like to game. I like to do. Right now, I'm playing the new God of War, and it's new-ish. But if you guys like the old, the God of War series, the newer one, oh god, it's amazing. Like I said, I don't get a lot of time to play games. So sometimes in between meetings, I'm chilling here overnight, all night. You have meetings at like 2 in the morning, pretty much on the daily, or midnight on the daily, 10 p.m. on the daily with my tech team. So, you know, I'm sitting here, I got 2 hours to kill. I just pop on Steam or something. I play Hogwarts Legacy? I've not. Where La Cosa Nostra hangs out. That's right. That's right. So down here, what we do is we have in our social club area, you have all kind of stuff you can do. And if you do something here and you want to show off how good it is, how good you are, and you want to get a group of people to do it with you, like we got some people here that are DJs. They share music with each other. We have some people here that love to read books and share books with each other. Whatever you are, we got a lot of us live in Texas and Houston. We have meetups. We go and get beers together, or go get bottle service together, or go. Last weekend we had a cabana table and saw a DJ. They just do fun stuff together. Sometimes we'll go to pottery painting classes together. Whatever, we'll do stuff. And so click any of these buttons if you like any of these things, and then that way you can do at Xbox, at PC Gaming, whatever, and then tell your friends in the group, hey guys, we're gonna play some games today. Psychology crew, and if you guys remember Sean, sound psych. I always get it wrong. Sean, you know Sean. Sean's got his own little group over here. Super cool. If you guys don't know him, Sound Training Psychology. Sean has a little corner talking about psychology. You want to take a break. You know, even the mafia needs a psychologist every once in a while. If you guys saw The Sopranos, come here and chat with Sean. Sean's awesome. It's a buddy of mine, he's a psychologist. He does the psychology space with us. You want to take a break from trading? You feel like you're over trading? Go here, book yourself a counselor. This guy's awesome. Licensed counselor, licensed therapist. So these guys are cool. Chill in the lounge, chat with your friends, whatever. Like I said, we're all about risk management here, and that's even psychological risk management. You want something to do? We always tell you to break bad habits, you get into some good ones. Pick up a hobby. You want to do gaming? Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. Everybody's already knowing. Watch. Halo. Guys. All right, y'all. Squads. In 30 minutes. There you go. That's it. We'll go do something fun to take our mind off of trading. Why? Let me tell you, that's the best decision you can make when trading and not trading, is to do something to take your mind off the market. You have to learn to not always want to take the drag. If everything I wake up just does not look good and I don't like what I see, DD.61 is the one thing that I think could save the market today. Like I said, that could kick us all the way to the bull zone. I don't like it. But even if I were to do anything, it's like a micro or two, right? I'm gonna let him know real quick. So oh, it is. Oh, what? How do I do this? I was getting those. My Windows time is out of sync. That's what it was? Okay, how do I turn on? Okay, so somebody let me know, because Windows 11, in Windows 11, how do you turn your clock to sync with like global time? I know I sound like an idiot at this point, but Windows 11 gave me a notification today, or the last couple of days, that it's out of sync with the sync now time. Oh, I found it. Never mind. My system clock is off by 10 seconds. That's why my stuff's messing up. Because when the market opens and it's drawing yesterday's stuff because it still thinks it's yesterday. We solved it. Jod's watching, he's looking at the time. He says, your system clock is off by a little bit. And I said, I did get that pop up a little bit ago. The local drawing and caching is looking at local time. I think we solved it. Yeah, that could be it. Okay. The yesterday's time. Okay. Yes. Okay. I clicked the sync button. I found it in Windows 11. It says sync now. I don't know how it got off, but whatever. Had to connect the time zone. It wasn't set to automatically adjust. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the Windows 11 is just a weird experience. It does not automatically adjust your time out the door. Mine was actually set to the wrong time zone as well. Okay. All right, so let's see what that does. I might have to, just for good purpose, let me go ahead and make sure there's nothing behind here I don't want y'all to see. Oops, I accidentally leaked the hedge pressure equations. Oh no! Just kidding. Okay. That could have been causing the issue, as a matter of fact. Let me see if this fixes all these weird artifacts. For some reason, that could be it. I did start getting a pop-up that it somehow desynced from actual real system time, or system time from the global clock. So that could be it. Are you correct in saying, Shmed, that the change in VIX is the big deal, red flags making sound? Yes. That's one of the ones that, again, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, but VIX is one of the ones that even if it's possible to break one risk interval, I personally will trade all irrational rules. If something makes sense, not to hope. Something does make sense today on SPY. DD is 0.6. Curiously enough, and resilience just went positive. This could actually be something that is a decent trade setup now. Decent-ish, but something very small. If VIX has the possibility. Ooh, and it's also really, really, really positive. Well, not yet. It's still 1. I need to get 10. So it's going to bounce around a little bit. If I get a red candle, I actually might want to long this. I might have changed my mind. If DD is 6, remember, it's micros only from here. Now, we tell you guys, if you want to be better safe than sorry, VIX is the one you just don't mess with. If something makes sense, 0.6 DD is here, okay? This could be a nice little rally, right? DD. That's very possible. If res is greater than 0, then this happens, okay? There are some scalps in here, which will bring VIX down. So I need some confirmation. I need resilience to be very strong, which it's not. Resilience isn't strong yet. DD strong, which means I'm expecting another dip. Or this just got to move quick. So what we say is we don't trust you guys to trade in a potential market crash. A VIX risk interval break can cause market crashes. So the one thing that we do, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, is, I mean, we've been around for what, 6-7 years now? You don't see clients out there that are like, I used Rocket Scooter and it just blew my account up. Or I used, Matt taught me something, I blew up my account. Zero people have ever said that. Well, maybe it happens, I don't know, but people haven't gone out there and raised the stink because we don't teach you to be stupid and be gamblers. We warn you what the market's going to be like, and we teach you the right way to approach it. And so people don't turn around and come back and blame us for their bad mistakes. So I scream and stamp my foot on the ground and say, look, VIX risk interval is the one thing you don't play with. Don't risk a potential, let me make a little bit of money to where you're in a place where you can't get out. If the market falls too quickly, what happens to some people is they freeze and they don't know what to do and they get desperate. I mean, it's happened to me before, plenty of times. And when you freeze, you make dumber and dumber and dumber decisions and you end up blowing up. So this is one of the ones that, because the risk is so high, it's not even worth playing. If I do play because I like something I see and it's possible, which again, we're safe-ish enough away from it. We're still 60 cents away, but VIX can move very quick. Very quick, and that's what you have to understand. Let me explain this to you when I say very quick. Let me go here. We tell everybody this is the one you just don't deal with. It's one trading day, right? Just say goodbye to it. The thing is when you get close to it, it moves quick. It's not like it's okay, we're far enough away, it's just gonna inch its way there. If VIX is gonna break it, you can see how it's only like a 1 minute, it'll take like a minute or two to get there. Like here, it took 4 minutes to get there. In 4 minutes, boom, 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 and then the market's nosedive red candle. It's not the market's gonna start trading lower like this. If that VIX just decides to automatically break right here, because it's close, because it tapped once, it's never, never, never worth playing. And again, anytime markets are irrational, VIX is the one that once it turns red, it doesn't turn yellow. We say like the lights, right? Remember those little light bulbs that we have for the alerts? Once VIX triggers, it will stay red all day. That's to let you know that. You don't see VIX. Ben, you have to make sure that you change your risk interval to 2.6. It's changed. You're probably like me and still had it set at 3 this morning. I changed it, but I somehow I didn't change it on this drawing. But the idea that VIX doesn't just slowly creep up. Sometimes it moves quick. You don't want to deal with. Let me see if I can find an example of past days where it just moved quick. When you are running on volatility, it's like this. It may look nice and stable, right? VIX can go very rapidly from 25 to 27. You see that? In a matter of like 5 minutes. Does everybody see this? This right here. I want everyone in chat. It's like 200 people here. Everyone say, yes, I see that. Okay. I'm going to show you some. I'm going to scare you. I'm going to scare you out of this VIX. Okay. I'm going to scare your face off. You must understand how rapidly volatility can compound on itself. It is not something to play with. Not something to play with. It can get out of control very fast, and when it's close enough, it's not something that's worth. My buddy, like I say, my buddy was a fixed income trader back in the day. He lived in Austin. His name was Keith. He used to say, you know, there's a saying he used to have at their fund, and their boss would tell him, you know, there's certain risk areas they just don't trade, and they were fixed income traders for an annuities company. And he says, you know, we call it picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. Says, and again, I need this to be 10 or more for me to feel confident. Something's right on the edge, and we need to figure out what it is that's on the edge. Since it is bouncing in both of them, it's probably going to be one of the tech stocks. Well, they're not bouncing together, but something is definitely on the edge right now. So I'm expecting maybe one more bounce, and it's maybe a possible. But if I do anything, there's micros. That's it, couple. The idea that it can move very rapidly in a matter of minutes. In 30 minutes, the VIX moved up 3 points. I mean, it just goes. The fact that it can run away so quick, what happens is in your trading, those are just candles that come out of nowhere. And so what you end up seeing, I don't know which day it was probably this day. It's like the market's just nice and stable, and all of a sudden it just nukes. And you have to, and I don't know, no, actually that's not the day. It was in the morning. There you go. Whatever day it was. But the point I'm getting at is these are days that the market just, it doesn't look like it's going to fall, but it can. And it's not worth over trading if you can help it. I believe this was the day in question. Yes, this was the day. Here we go. Market's bumping up and then trading back down, and then it falls out of control and then comes back up. Look at this. You could have blown up. Somebody could have blown up there, and it's just terrible. And you may say, well, that's 80 points of move. I can make so much money. You guys have watched me make 120% in my 10K challenge account, which, by the way, if you guys are like, hey, Matt, whatever happened to your other challenge? It's still going. I'm just multi-boxing here. Here's my other challenge. It's actually live. Keep it on the other screen. The 10K account is at 24K now. They've made no deposit. It's still trading. Still up. No trades in that today either. But there's that one. So you see me 140% in a month. Okay. You see me knock out 2 evals, and one took 5 days. One of them took 12 days. Am I missing out on anything? No. Oh, oops, I didn't show you on my screen. Sorry, my bad. Wrong screen. Am I missing out on anything by sitting out a day? Absolutely not. 140% in a month. Great. 5 days, pass some static eval thing, get a funded account. Check. I never even signed the application to turn this into the elite count, by the way. I told them cancel them both, start me over. I want to do the eval a second time just to go through the one that this is an elite. This is a paid account. Elites are paid. I told them I don't want it. Start me over at eval. I'm just going to keep passing the challenge just to do it. I like challenges. So you see me like trading and doing okay, right? This is a paper account. Both of these here are paper accounts. This is a real account. And so, you know, this only took 12 days. That's 15,000 on that paper account in 12 days. But again, the point is you get the funded account or whatever you're doing. You don't have to trade every day. And you may look at this and say, oh, well, it's going up against me. See, now is a good time to maybe frame an entry. Res is good. Res is good. We're at the bottom of the box. Res is greater than 10. DD is greater than 6. This is a great entry to long up a hedge pressure with the tight stop. I like what I see. However, you have to be very careful. Okay, so here we go. Things are changing. You have to be very careful. Res is going to be all I'm watching. Res is greater than 10, which means we can go to the top of the box. Great. DD is greater than 6 means we can go to the bull zone. This might rescue itself today. But keep in mind, don't gamble your life away. See, the market has a nice little V shape and then it immediately dies out, right? Keep in mind, you have to be very careful. Isn't that where we are right now? A V shape and can immediately die out. So just be very cautious when trading. We're back in the DD band. We're sitting at hedge pressure. I might actually take a small long with micros on my main account. Now, again, not over trading, but I know that things are looking good. I'm going to keep my eye on resilience. Okay, so now I'm taking a long, a small long, very small long. Very small long. If resilience stays positive, great. Things are good. Now, again, remember, don't do what I do. I know what happens if the market goes to shit. I know how to close the button and walk away with the loss. I'm not going to touch it here. I know what to do if market goes to shit. I know how to take a loss. I can click the button, I can lose and walk away. I can't trust when I teach people, what I was saying earlier, that people have that same discipline. And that's the one thing that is lacking. We had that market psychology space yesterday. And it was Leah, myself, Sean, and a couple other people. And Ashton, we talk about this all the time as teachers, is that psychology is something you don't know what you're made of until you're in the fire. You don't know how you react when things go crazy. Because we don't know how you're going to act and you don't know how you're going to act, we don't teach you to go out there and do what we do. It's kind of like, see right now, right? I can completely lose. I can completely have my account blow up. I don't necessarily like what I see. So we got to keep an eye on resilience. It needs to get stronger than 6. Right? That resilience can nosedive any moment. Let's make it a little bigger so you can see it. So does everyone understand that because we have to create a program, we call it Team Jog, and we all kind of run together at the same pace? We can't tell everybody, hey, don't worry, you know, trade small. We tell you, like, when you spend with Rocket Skill, you spend 3 months training on risk management. The platform can use a million different ways to analyze the market. Risk management is a human thing that goes beyond the platform and tools. It's how do you behave when things don't go your way. You have an ego you can't get over, like, oh my God, I can't be wrong. And then you bag hold to 0. Everybody deals with different problems as a trader. And so what do you do as a trader when things hit the fan? That's one of the tricks that we have to kind of figure out, that I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I can't make that assessment about you, right? So we have to make sure that we train people to be very cautious when they trade. See, resilience is back to negative, right? Can turn in a dime. Resilience is back to negative. As quick as that. The market could collapse today. Not a good sign. We got to see what's going on here. And irrational means resilience is going to be choppy all over the place. So if I'm long, I got to take a 10-point stop no matter what. That's it. That's easy as that. You guys see that? So the point is that as you're trading, we can't trust that you guys are going to make smart decisions while under pressure because everyone's different. So we train you to spend 3 months not trading irrational days. While we say if you've been here about 4 months in, yeah, sure, jump out of the plane on your own with the parachute. Until then, stay tandem to the program, just like a tandem parachute, right? The program's designed to break over trading habits and have you analyze the market correctly and only trade when it's safe, according to what we teach you is safe. And at that point, if you want to deviate from there and kind of go a little maverick, you can and use discretion. We say after about 3 months, it takes about 3 months to break a bad habit. And that's why in the 3-month program, we say spend 3 months not trading irrational, especially the VIX one. If you see it even possibly touch, even if it dives back in, don't jump in like this because you'll think market nice and stable, then red candles come out of nowhere. I know that resilience is going to be chopping all over the place, right? I know that because I know exactly what I'm looking for. You guys know that I know that. See, resilience is not clean. It's choppy. It's hugging the middle. Well, we know anytime you have a potential volatility risk interval problem or any irrational signal, resilience is going to be all over the place. It's not going to be long and strong. And I have to know that even if I trade when irrational, somebody tell me what we learned from yesterday about the pivots. When markets are irrational, pivots do what? Are they sharp or are they not sharp? Tell me. Markets are irrational or yellow light triggers. Are pivots sharp? They're going to overshoot. So I know it's going to overshoot. I need to give myself that freedom to understand it can overshoot and still be right. And that's correct. And resilience all over the place. It's not strong enough for me to take a strong long. That's barely strong enough for me to think we go to there. But at least I can sit here and measure and say, all right, let's just piece it together. But we say in 3 months, like, don't go maverick and try to trade every day. Learn to be comfortable sitting out and being like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit out. But when the opportunity arises, you can comfortably say, okay, let me take a stab at it. But all the pieces have to line up. But even so, VIX is one that I very, 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 very rarely mess with. And it comes back in. VIX goes out of the band barely and comes back in today. It's possible to take a small long for me, yes. Only if things add up. That's not really strong. That's just right on the edge. 6 is the rule. When irrational, you guys remember the rule? Everybody type the rule in chat. When irrational, DD, I need it to be greater than what and less than what for the following blanks. Type it in. What percent do I need DD to feel comfortable for a strong trade? 6, right? I want it to be far enough from 5 that it's strong enough. 60. Yeah. So because it's 61, okay. Very, very, very possible that we end up here or at least touch there. Now, because the market's really bearish in the last couple of days, I'm not going to bet that we break bull and go bullish, but at least I would trade it to tap the bull zone because that's what I want it to do. Got a lot of ground to cover. Okay. DD like greater than 6. Okay. So that's potentially there. Resilience, not that strong. Irrational, what do I need resilience to be strong enough? We're well above BBB. Triple B also means pivots overshoot. Schmat, if you go read that. Being above triple B also means pivots can overshoot. Pivots can overshoot. That could be a result of the extra volatility we're experiencing in the market. Okay. I love it. You guys are learning how I trade. Oops, let me adjust here. Yeah, greater than 10. Clearly, it's not greater than 10. It's not less than negative 10. So VIX is a real, resilience is a really, 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 and go any direction right now. Right? It's bouncing in between total collapse and total rally, right? So I need res to go above 10. It's trying to get there. Nasdaq is strong enough. Anytime the S&P is not giving me a good signal, what's my next rule? And I know if you paid attention to the resilience class, what's my next rule? If I look at S&P and it's not breaking 10 or less than negative 10, how do I make a decision with resilience? I'm hinting by saying the word S&P. If I look at S&P resilience and it's kind of floating the middle and I need to break a tie, where do I go? Quick. I'll look at Nasdaq resilience. Yeah, I go to Qs. And so Qs is slightly positive. So if I were to take resilience as a whole, resilience is looking kind of okay. DD is kind of okay, right? Like DD is not strong, but this is like okay, and then this together, well, it's okay. Two okays might make it okay. Let's go. Bear long up, we know, goes from hedge pressure to bear wall. That's one of the things, right, from that liquidity map. We all know that. Let's draw the pressures and then make a trade. I did take a small long. Hit half gap. Okay, close out my long. Just took a scalp from here to half gap. Quickie scalp, that's it. Close it out. That's it. Okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, this is like something again, when you're multitasking, I did not buy 4 micros. I accidentally bought 4 minis. What the fuck, Matt? Anyways, that's $1,000, but that's an accidental $1,000. I thought it was gonna be $100, $100. Jesus Christ. I need to stop trading. I need to stop trading, and I need to go play some fucking Halo. I thought, oh my God. Well, because I have my, thank God. I went to close it out and I was like, eee! Okay. See, that stuff leads to me fucking up on stream. Oh my God, I'm gonna have a heart attack one of these days. Jeez Louise. When I looked at, well, here, let me show you this. Let me show you why. Let me show you guys a trick. Let me show you what I have. Okay, this is stupid. I don't deserve that money. I deserve to have this account blow up. That is so, oh my gosh. Okay. So this is like, like, I'll show you guys what I see. This is what I see. Like, my browser tabs are up here. Let me show you exactly what I see. I only have Tradebait focused. So this is you guys right here on my screen. This is y'all. I'm watching chat. These are the music that's playing. And that's my Tradebait. So it's not even focused. I'm just watching this. And again, this is a testament to my mental mathness. I know how much I should be losing. I know where my entry was. So I'm not even staring at my position. I'm just watching this. I'm watching the DOM of this fake ETF thing. And so I'm looking at the DOM. I know where I entered and I'm like, okay. And I said, ooh, I'm up probably about, I don't know, maybe about the 10 points I wanted to get. I go to click here and I go, okay, let me close it out. And with the close it out, I go $1,000. Whoa, wait a minute. So that's a mistake. Don't take your eyes off your DOM. Don't be like Matt. And I got 6 screens, but they're all filled up. You're like, well, you have 6 screens. Why are you running out of screen real estate? I know, actually I have 8 screens now. But I run out of real estate. It takes up a lot. See, I trade to what I know and just trade to first resistance, call it a day. Got to half gap, called it a day. Closed out, look at that. Easy peasy. Now again, I know what to do. We tell you guys don't trade because a lot of you might have jumped in on the long there and all of a sudden resilience is negative again. Do you see this? Like I said, this is one of the scariest looking opens I did. I gobbled up what I thought was $100, an accidental $1,000. Don't give me any credit for my stupidity, please. Do not inflate my ego. That was stupid. 4 is double the leverage I should take on an account that size. I should have 2 at the most. Anyway, I thought I hit 4 micros. Dumb. Okay. Thank God. Well. So anyways, don't. Beautiful mistake. Don't. It's not Monopoly. Packed with the trading gods. Can't. Quest says that I've sold my soul to the devil. I'm Catholic by birthright, or family, not birthright. What's it called? By heritage. My family, we're Catholic. Don't. We believe in like jinxes and stigmas. Don't. That's a scary. That's scaring my soul. The trading gods have blessed us. No, I'm just getting lucky. My birthright. I'll tell you, when I was, most people give their children bottles of milk. I think mine put some red wine in a bottle. I was drinking wine the time I was a baby. Ashton's Catholic as well. We actually had a talk the other day. We've been buddies for a long time in the trading space. We were partnered up. And we were just chit-chatting, and I was chatting with Ashton, and he's like, he has a kid, I have a kid. He's like, oh, I didn't know you had a kid. We don't really talk a lot about personal stuff. Honestly, to be honest, like for a while, I had a stalker, right? And legally burying this person right now in court. But the idea is I had a stalker for a while, and I had to kind of be careful about what I say in my personal life. But yeah, have a kid. And then Ashton was like, oh yeah. I was like, where do you go? He's like, I had to go to church. He's like, oh yeah, where do you go to church? He's like, oh, we go here. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm Catholic. He's like, you're Catholic. I don't really go to church as much as I should, but I did all my life. I think that like, it's up to you if you're spiritual, religious. I'm not really religious at all. Let me start there. I'm more of a spiritual person. I believe that there's a very interesting structure to the universe. I'm a scientist first. But yeah. Your dad would dip your pacifier in Uzu. Theo's Opa. There you go. Your religion's trading. That's right, Shay. Name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Short. Let's YOLO. Each his own, no judgment. Atheist. I think if you were to give me a classification spiritually, I'd say it's hard to say. I can't say I'm agnostic. Agnostic means you don't know, therefore you take the stance you can't know. So you don't try to take a guess. Agnostic is like a scientist approach. Unless I have the evidence, I'm not going to waste my time with it. There's no evidence for, and there's no evidence against. So why spend my life sitting in the middle? So agnostic is kind of a neat way to approach anything in trading as well. If you can't know, then don't try to know. And we teach this principle in our risk management class called being market agnostic. And religious, it's this being religious the same way. People say, and I think people don't give agnostics a lot of credit. It's not, they're like, oh, you don't believe in God. They go, no. Actually, half of you say there's a God, other half of you say you can't. So both of you provide your evidence. The people that try to disprove, they can't really do it. People try to prove, they can't really do it either. So since neither one of you provide a compelling argument, as scientists, I will take a neutral approach. So interestingly enough, when that translates to trading, being agnostic means if you can't know, don't guess. Don't waste your time with it. So sit out. And that's how we actually call it being agnostic. So right now, DD points up, resilience points down. Which way does it go? Neither one of them provide a compelling lining up argument. One of them slightly high, one of them slightly low. It's so I'm going to take a stance of I don't know, so I can't know, I don't know, I don't want to try. And that's a great approach to trading. I would say though, as a scientist, I'll tell you what's really funny about my nerdy side. I spend a lot of time reading cosmology. I'm a huge fan of the universe. I read things on physics. I read things on the structure of how reality works. What's kind of neat, and I'll tell you guys something. I just don't deal in trading. I actually am involved in some scientific discussions, communities, subreddits. I pay attention to like the nerdy stuff out there. So what's really neat is if you think about like, I'm gonna show you something that's cool. I'm a huge fan of what Einstein has done. What's my win streak at? I haven't lost on that 25K account. I've only lost one day in that 25K account, just one day. That one Friday before I started ETF stuff. Undefeated since then. So I've lost one trading day in that account since I started it. Quantum physics is Barb, my girl. We're like best friends now, man. Need a liquidity map for religions. So like in my family, we weren't like very religious. It was more cultural. Being Catholic as a French Cajun in Louisiana and Texas is just like being Greek in Greece. It's a family thing. It's a culture thing. It's just part of your heritage. It's not like we did a lot of like extenuous religious practices. We went to all the events, hung out with the community. It's like Theo will say, indeed. It's like it's your heritage, your culture. And you know, we were taught to be open-minded and to be accepting of everybody, which I think is important. The best part about humans disagreeing is that it causes them to discuss. If you don't take it too far and humans talk to each other about their disagreements, it causes you to discuss. And when you discuss and you come up with ideas together, you innovate, you evolve, you create better things for everybody. And so as long as people don't hate each other for being, which a lot of people do, for just disagreeing with what they think or believe in, then the world becomes a better place because we're different. And that's what I like. So I like discussing and learning and talking about what other people think. I'm a huge fan of anthropology. I like to study the history of the dawn of civilization, like where humans came from, how old our civilization really is. I believe humans have been around for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, through multiple eras. We just got smashed by a comet, flooded the world, and we had to start over. But if you go down to Antarctica and start digging through all that ice down there, and you go down about 1,000 feet, you're going to find buildings from hundreds of thousands of years ago. Think about it like this, right? Imagine if the Earth stopped spinning and the air that you experience right now, and the law of conservation of momentum, thank you, Isaac Newton, what happens is, you know, the Earth is spinning about 1,000 miles an hour, right? And the air that's sitting next to you and all around you is also spinning 1,000 miles an hour. Relative to you, there's no motion. If the poles were to shift, and people say, oh yeah, the poles shift every so often. The poles don't just shift like slowly. There are theories out there that say the poles shift overnight. And imagine if the Earth takes a 90-degree shift and all that water in the ocean that's going 1,000 miles an hour immediately stops, or the Earth stops and goes the other way. You get water rushing at you at 1,000 miles an hour. It wipes out civilization overnight, like literally in a snap of a finger. It's really, really scary to think about that, right? It doesn't just gradually start flooding. Imagine you going at 1,000 miles an hour and then whatever you're in just stops. You get thrown hundreds of miles, and so does your house, and so does everything. So it's really, and then the water waves are like a mile tall, and then all of a sudden all that subsides and there's nothing left but maybe a couple people that lived up in the mountains, and they're the ones that have to carry the story of humanity forward. And then because the poles shifted, everything froze up. And boy, oh boy, we become barbaric and nomadic from there and have to rebuild civilization because of the two doomsday folks that like lived in a bunker, survived, and they're the ones that have to carry the information. How do I build an iPhone? What's a computer? What's the internet? And now you have to start all over, right? How many times it's happened throughout civilization? You think about it like this, right? And I'm quoting Joe Rogan from one of his podcasts. He says, you know, a long time ago, let's say in like 300, 400 AD, we were barbarians. We beat each other up with sticks, rocks, catapults. And then now, barely a thousand years later, 1,500 years later, we're flying across the air in giant coffee cans, right? We're communicating to outer space and back to each other in 1,000 years. How can humans, 50,000 years of evolution of their culture, just end up building pyramids with rocks? Look at how much we've done in 1,000 years, right? What would happen to something 100,000 years? What would they do with 20,000 years of cultural evolution? What's buried underneath the ice in Antarctica? That's what always keeps me inspired to think we've been here for a very long time. Pretty cool, right? So, and all the religious stories that talk about when the earth stopped spinning and all that stuff, the great floods, everyone has a great flood, right? The Torah has a great flood story with Noah. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a great flood story. Everybody tells the story of the great flood. That one guy up in the mountain, man, I remember that one time my ancestor taught me but there was a flood, right? And there it was. It happened. It's probably happened 25 times. Who knows? The point I'm saying is that we're a lot more alike than we think. When the Earth was a giant ball of ice, imagine culture spreading out by being nomadic, chasing the food. And once the ice melted, you're segregated where the continents lied. And all of a sudden, you all had that same story of a flood. You had the same story of a, you know, seeing a spaceship in the sky. And everyone has, you know, from the Greeks to the Romans to the Chinese to the Bible with Elijah, everyone has a story of a chariot being pulled with horses made of fire, separated by thousands of miles of ocean. How come everybody has that same story and everybody builds pyramids? Well, it's because the Earth was a ball of ice. We can walk from one side to the other. When the ice melted, everybody localized to their own local beliefs. And it's like a long time ago, we were all come from the same origin. Same thing. Everybody remembers, oh yeah, we used to build buildings. How'd you do it? Well, I don't remember. But I remember my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather told me for the flood, there were these tall buildings. Well, how do we make one of them? I don't know. Well, here's some rocks. Let's stack them up. Stack them up straight up. Oh, the wind blows them over. Oh, I know. Let's angle them towards each other. Oh, that's a little more sturdy. Okay, let's do that. And then there's a pyramid, and that evolves. And then all of a sudden, you create the most structurally sound piece of building, right? And so it's kind of like when you think about it, it's a cool thing to think about. This is in this course. Yeah, this is course number 5, Brian. Bridges. Yeah, right? It's just so fun to think about, like, how much we don't know about where we come from. So it's like, it seems really petty, the whole point I'm about to get out of here, to argue about stuff now. There's so much we don't know. Oh yeah, this one's gonna tell you guys something cool. All right, so you ever tried to picture, visualize the 4th and 5th and 6th dimension? How can the universe have multiple dimensions? Let me tell you something really cool. Imagine you are a 2-dimensional being on a line. Like this is you. Okay. And the line is actually a circle, just a regular circle. And you're here and your buddy's here. And your buddy goes, "Hey man, nice to see you. I'm leaving." And he goes, "Okay," and he leaves. You watch him like go into the distance. He gets smaller and smaller and smaller. He's bye-bye, bye-bye, and all of a sudden he disappears because he's down here. You can only see a little bit till the curvature goes away. And all of a sudden he comes up behind you, taps you on the shoulder. "Hey, what's up, man? Hey, there you are again." And you turn around and go, "Wait, how are you over here? I don't understand. You went the other way, but you're behind me. I don't get it." Right? So perception is interesting about dimensions, right? This is a cool thing I want you to think about. So pretend there's a 3rd dimension, right? This is just length. Imagine that you have another plane called width, right? That goes this way. So now you have like a 2D plane. And in this 2D plane, you have like little bitty circles, right? And the circles just move from one side to the other. It's just a flat, like think of like cutting out like a dot from a piece of paper, like a hole punch. And you're just a point in time. And this dot intersects with your plane. Imagine this dot is like your world is dark, and this dot actually is a light, right? All of a sudden, this point in time spontaneously lights up and then goes dark again. As the circle passes through your line, you'll see a light appear and then it disappears. Another circle comes through, crosses with your line. You're just looking at this. Oh, weird. That point lights up and goes dark. What the heck? But you don't see there's another dimension where it's just interacting with yours and then going through. This guy's just going in a straight line. So like a one-dimensional thing that can only see straight ahead will see like lights flicker on and off. You need to think about it, right? So if you understand that you can't perceive anything until it intersects with your dimension, then when we talk about electrons and orbitals, right, in physics, you know, electrons, what we call electron density, right? Quantum mechanics has this, you have this uncertainty principle that if you interact with something, it creates a point, it creates a dot. Electron has a point-like particle interaction when we interact with it by looking at it with light. So when it interacts with something, it becomes a point and then it disappears. So like electron is really just a field, and like a probability density. And what you notice if you actually study physics, there's an area around a nucleus where the electron just doesn't exist. And what's neat about this is that if you measure the electron, it just becomes like, oh, it's a particle. But if you're not measuring it, it could be anywhere. And it's not really a particle. It's only a particle to measure. So what it is energy that's just there. But the energy doesn't exist in a certain area. They have like orbitals where the electrons are, and where they're not, electron seems to like jump from one side to the other. And it's like, how can I measured it here, and I measured it again, it was here, and there was no information that traveled from one side to the other. It's just like this. It's like if you draw a straight line with those light points I talked about, the electron moves out of our dimension and back into the dimension, and you've measured it. So it sucks into like this little space and then goes into this other dimension and comes back in. So it's the fourth dimension, it's time. And so the interesting thing is that the weird effects in physics are that kind of that dimensional philosophy of what's going on when you pull the curtain out. You can't see. We just see points of light when we look at it. We see points when we look at it. But that density is actually inside of another space. So like the neat thing about studying like quantum mechanics and learning about that stuff is you can think that there's so much more complexity than we think. To think that like electron just disappears from the third dimension and exists in this timeless fourth, because then something that is not experiencing the fourth dimension but lives in the fourth dimension, it's not time. There is no time. So people can say, how can the universe start? What happened the moment before that? Well, there was no time. It's another dimension. Time isn't a construct from that dimension. There was no before. It's always been. And it's like, your mind's blown. So what happens inside of a Planck length beyond the boundaries of nucleus where you can't have electron density? Well, it's because that electron goes into the next dimension, timelessness, and just is everywhere and then comes back in. So if you're like, okay, I'm spiritual, there might be an entity or a god or something out there. There's fucking something out there. And imagine that how I just made, like, your brain hurts thinking about fourth dimensions. You know, certain physicists think there's 11 dimensions. Imagine how hard that was to understand the fourth one. Go 7 more. And realize that, yeah, there's a lot to this that we don't know. Which is kind of cool, right? I like to watch a lot of YouTube. So if you think about, and like what I like to think about is kind of like, if I'm like a 2-dimensional being and I'm a stick, something that crosses in the third dimension, I'm only going to see it when it touches. But look at all this extra movement it can take. I only see blink, blink. And so what's neat about, people don't like physics, but some people do. What's neat about how much things can wrap up on itself and you wouldn't know what's behind the curtain. And what's really neat is just to know that things don't spontaneously form out of nothing. Gibbs. You need Gibbs free energy for a spontaneous process to happen. It goes against the law of entropy for the universe to spontaneously organize out of nothing. This is the second law of thermodynamics. The third law of thermodynamics is entropy drives itself to maximize. And what you have to happen is an outside force create this universe. It's physics. There's no way it can spontaneously create itself. There's no free energy. And as a chemical engineer, I can tell you that's true. You think about it. Anyways, irrational days. We like to rationalize and talk about whatever. See, we have to do something else. I'm just telling you guys a story to keep your mind off of trading. So here's the whole reason we do it. All right, let's see what it says. Got to read Sapiens. Send me some book ideas, man. I love it. A lot more behind the pyramids. Oh, yeah. Foundational remarks for your class. Let me tell you something cool about the pyramids. I actually found this really great. So if you think about it, I don't see this written anywhere. But you know like a copper wire, right? You have a conductive material. And you have an insulating material. All that a wire does is it directs an electric field such that the field can propagate and what you experience as electricity happens. You don't even actually need a wire for electricity to happen. Electric fields propagate throughout space, time, space, all on their own. So wireless electricity is entirely possible, even without wires. But wires directly guide an electric field. Long story short, you have an electric, you have a conductive environment. And so a long time ago, like the Great Pyramid, it's really, really cool to think about this. And again, I read this book that was like this really old book, and the book on the front was like, it said something like this book has been banned. I don't know. Anyways, it was like, anyways, okay. So what happened when you think about this, you had like two different layers of material, and there's like this outer layer of this pyramid that was like, there's a gold cap and outer layer. But anyways, you used to have like a more conductive mineral, and there was another layer to the pyramid that was insulative material. It's just like a wire. What people say is that, and of course underneath it you have like these, hold on one second. I had to answer email real quick. I'm gonna tell you how the pyramids used to conduct electricity. Oh, here's a great picture of it. Actually, I'll do the email in a second. I see something cool. Science checks out a little bit. And I'm gonna call it a day. We're gonna play some Halo. Let me show you something cool. If you don't believe me that the pyramids glowed in the dark, I'm about to tell you how it worked. These you have these like aquifers. And so the pyramids basically were just monuments that would glow in the dark, like maybe like a whitish blue color. I don't know if you knew that. The whole thing would shine at the edge of the desert from far away. Imagine how cool that would look. So what happens is when you have water, right? People say they go on the pyramid and it feels like a machine. You have these really cool conductive type channels that don't seem to serve a purpose. And people go in there and say, well, it feels like sound migrates and propagates. Well, that's because they're so smooth and so angled and so perfectly resonating. It's not for sound to traverse, but what it is for when you have water and limestone, a non-conductive mineral, move up and down, it's static electricity generates inside of the water. And these conductive layers transmit that static electricity to this conductive material, which as the field propagates to a point and hits that metallic top, spits out little blue ball. It's like ball lightning, and it makes zaps. And a long time ago, there was an explorer that went to the top and put like something in a bottle and held it up, and it started glowing. And the tour guys that took him up there thought he was doing some kind of voodoo, and they beat him up and took it from him, and he reported it. But basically, like if you think about this, all this does is channel the static electricity from the aquifers to this metallic or this conductive mineral, and all of a sudden it channels to a single point and zaps ball lightning. And that's the same principle of they still glow. They don't, because the outer layer has been stripped and the gold part at the top was removed. It used to be like a gold tip. But that's neat to think about it, is that when the Nile rises and falls, it's just, that's how static electricity is created. And you see how that would work, and it just channels it up. And it's just a cool thing to say, wow, they understood how the earth worked enough to create something that would just to create like a rock temple that glowed because of natural elements in the earth. That's a cool thought. I read that, and then I read some people who were like, that sounds stupid. I'm like, actually, I'm an engineer, and that actually sounds somewhat legit. There's no reason to think that wouldn't happen. It's what are those channels inside of the pyramid for, right? And it would make a whole lot of sense. It just has lost its insulative layer, which what happens is any electric charge that makes its way through it just dissipates into the atmosphere. But the insulated rock layer on the outside of the pyramid that's now since been gone. Remember, the pyramid used to be smooth. Right now, it just looks like step blocks. There used to be a layer. What happened to the layer? I don't know. Maybe the last great flood. See, we know about the ancient Egyptians, right? That the Sphinx was here a long time ago. It used to be like a dog. And when the Egyptians found all this stuff, they repurposed it for their own likes. They turned the Sphinx into a pharaoh head. What if the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids? What if they found them? That's the thing. We know they found the Sphinx. The decay patterns around the Sphinx are much older than the Egyptian civilization. And you know that tiny little pharaoh head was just repurposed from that dog head that was there. I think the Egyptians found the pyramids. And what weathered away that outer layer was the last great flood. I mean, that's almost certainly the case. How did they build ramps and all that stuff to carry? No, they didn't. They were machines. 100,000 years ago. Probably buried in Antarctica. What's up? Want to go play some Halo? What I'm saying is, the whole point of telling a story is to, when you don't trade, you don't trade. You have to do something fun. There's a reason I'm doing this. I'm not just going ham, having a fun conversation. Do you notice you've been distracted for the last hour? See, we do everything right when it comes to teaching. Stock market gone anywhere? No. Is resilience all over the place? Yeah. I'm just entertaining you with some boring stuff or fun stuff, depending on what you think. And the thing is, if there was like that outer insulative layer, you would still see them glow. You should, though, theoretically speaking. Why are the pyramids so perfectly lined up? We always like to attribute the past to people staring at the stars. Oh, it must be a temple. It points true north. It does this. Well, I mean, it points in the direction of the magnetic fields of the Earth. Pointing true north. Right? There's a huge true north. If that's the case, then it was 2 floods ago or 2 ice ages ago. The poles shifted 90 degrees and they shifted 90 degrees again. And there you go. So think about it like that. It pointed true north and then it pointed west and then it pointed true south. Maybe it used to point true south and now it points true north. So maybe 2 civilizations ago built the pyramids and fucking comets. I swear to God. I hate them. I hate those damn comets. Yeah. With the water. I'm going to build me my own pyramid in my backyard. I'm telling you. But look, market's going nowhere. Don't go out there and try to overtrade. Do you see how you would short your upside down, you'd long your upside down, you'd short your upside down? I wonder all the technical analysis people right now are probably deleting their YouTube streams. Chasing this all day long. We know what it's going to look like. There's nothing solid here. And then we just talk. We just distract you guys. Trade to $400 profit, lost 400 profits. You're out with $5 profit. Beers are on you, baby. Have a good one. Oh man, that sounds absolutely amazing to go camping. Love it. Moldavite comes from meteors. I didn't know that. It can only be found in Ukraine. So if you think about it like this, and I always thought about like this is the whole best part. See, like if you think about this, right? You have some kind of like okay, like if the pyramids are here and actually pointed south, and then the poles shifted, like the poles shifted, everyone died, and then they pointed west. And the poles shifted, which is the last ice age, and now they point north. Poles shifted once and twice. So 100,000 years ago, we used to have these conductive glow-in-the-dark temples that were built with machines. All of a sudden, there's an ice age. The 1,000-mile-an-hour wall of water kicked them out in the ocean somewhere. Where's all those tractors and trailers? I don't know. Probably at the bottom of the ocean, covered in miles of sediment. Who knows? And then right here, the ice melted, and some nomads stumbled across these giant rock things who were like, whoa. And then all of a sudden they came across this like deteriorated like lion head statue thing. Right? I don't know how to draw those things. It was like this dog. It was like that. And then like the dog head got mixed away and they're like, oh, let's just put a little pharaoh head on it. Let's just repurpose this and make it a temple to our leader. And then let's bury people in these rock things that we found with these channels. Let's just bury them inside those chambers. Because the pharaoh is probably like, this is a testament to my godliness. I must be buried inside of this chamber that God left here for me. We don't know. The cool thing is we don't know. You don't know. It's just fun to speculate. But I love it. Doggerland is between UK and Europe. Okay. I didn't know. It's all for meteorites. That's pretty cool. Did you guys know that Pluto is technically more of a comet than a planet, and that's why it was declassified or demoted from being a planet? Because Pluto is mostly ice and it has an elliptical orbit that's out of sync with the flat orbit plane of the rest of the planets. And if Pluto were to come closer to the sun, it would develop a tail like a comet and pushed away from the solar radiation. Although I do miss Pluto being a planet. Anaki gave the Sumerians alien technology. I know. You know what the funny part is? Alien technology just could have been our technology from hundreds of thousands of years ago. They're finding human skeletons that are 300,000 years old. Isn't that crazy? So Theo's Greek. Helios, the sun god, right? In Greece, used to fly around the earth in a chariot pulled by horses made of fire. Elijah, the only person in the Old Testament, one of two people in Christian lore who have gone to heaven without dying. A chariot pulled by horses made of fire scooped down, picked up Elijah, took him up to heaven. Chinese Xihi, the Chinese sun goddess, flew around the earth in a chariot pulled by dragons made of fire. All these people talk to each other. One would only ask, because boats 8,000 years ago didn't really travel from one side of the earth to the other. They must have just walked there during the Ice Age and carried one story with them. And then they localized it. And there we go. We're all alike. And y'all didn't even know that. You should be paying you to school your kids. I used to teach at University of Houston as a student teacher. But I taught stuff that might be boring to everybody, unless you like fluid dynamics and material science. Material science is why I got loving learning about the pyramids. My material science professor, I did some research for him for a little bit before I did the research in the catalysis. I ultimately moved into catalysis. I did research in material science for a little bit. And we used a plasma deposition chamber to seed and build carbon nanotubes, almost like you would think a 3D printer would draw something with a little tip of plastic. We would essentially seed or grow carbon nanotubes one layer at a time through atomic deposition, which is kind of cool. I did that for a while, but my professors there were so cool. And they used to always talk about pyramids. This is one of the things I used to love. They used to always talk about materials and how, materials that came from outer space, materials not inherent to and what materials do and the cool properties of some materials, superconductors, all this stuff. And I was so fascinated with just like studying materials. And then it took me out over the years. I went through this like giant rabbit hole to learn about the pyramids and what their actual purpose was. Yeah, the pyramid's a machine. It does something. Everybody speculates what it does. It's very simple that static electricity can channel through conductive layers of rock up to a single point, concentrate that charge, and then it zaps out the top. And then how? I don't know. Wanderers, probably wasn't desert at the time they were built. Wanderers in the desert or wanderers from afar can come to this magnificent civilization and find it from hundreds of miles away by just seeing a glow. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think so. For doing a prolonged internship, you had to take materials class instead of biomaterials. Did you like it, Lee? Imagine you putting concrete prosthetics instead of titanium hip. Oh my God. People clunking around. So hard. Talk about that, how silver is the only conductive and non-corrosive metal on the earth. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was non-corrosive. I don't know everything about everything. That's very cool to know. Non-corrosive meaning that it likely is not oxidizing easily. Or it doesn't corrode or it doesn't corrode other things. Titanium. How about aluminum? So titanium is in the transition metals. That I know. Is silver and gold are also transition metals. You make colloidal silver antibiotic. Silver is like no other metal on Earth. The titanium rods in your back are non-magnetic. What are they? Hey, are they titanium? Oh, nice. I think you did say that. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I love chit-chatting, but just think about it like this. When trading gets crazy, when markets are all over the place, when VIX hits a risk interval, you sit out. When it goes out and comes back in, it's wise to not trade long. Anytime you get any potential issue that you see that gives your confidence kind of a meh, right? Especially that VIX risk interval rule. You break one risk interval and you come back in, the market's going to have a hard time stabilizing even on a gentle tap. And I'm going to close it out the day. And again, one of my strategies, and I always say Miyagi, you never understand why I do what I do. I'm always 10 steps ahead. Why I talk about physics and talk about something interesting is to spark your curiosity. See, if I just talk about something boring, like, you know, shooting the shit or talking about what I ate for breakfast, you're probably going to like tone out while you still trade. But if I talk about something thought-provoking, at least for the last hour. Did anybody touch their trading platform for the last hour while I was talking? Say no if you didn't. If you inspire somebody to do something that's thought-provoking, you inspire somebody to think about something else, you challenge them to think about something else. A bad habit is broken only by participating in a good habit. To distract you from doing something you shouldn't be doing is to give you something that just at least stimulates you thinking about something else. If I didn't stimulate you, I talk about something boring, you guys just tune me out and still trade. If I talk about something a little interesting or maybe potentially interesting, you're all just too distracted to go out there and trade, aren't you? So there's a reason we do everything we do. We don't tell you that till the end of the day. There's a whole reason I'm talking about pyramids and other stuff. I was just feeling it today. Make sure I'm on here. VIX is one risk interval up and down. Stock market up and down 30, 40 points and it's gone nowhere. You're welcome. I'll see you guys later.